So back in June, not sure if we told everybody, but we lost our front air conditioner. We had hit a really bad bump on I-80 just outside Omaha, and it cracked a copper pipe in it. And we lost all the freon, so there wasn't anybody able to just repair it, so we ended up replacing it. We replaced it with a new Mach 8, and we had the heat pump put into it. So when they sold it to us, they said, oh, the existing controller should work fine in it. But come to find out, of course, it did not, because the existing controller was only an AC controller, was not AC and heat. So what we have to do today is replace the controller up inside the air conditioning unit so we can start running our heat pump on here. And now that it's January here in southeast Texas, a little cooler, I want to get the heat pump running, so we're using that versus burning propane. We also had to upgrade our thermostat. I've got some really nice videos on that I did when I changed that out back a few months back, and but I forgot to turn the camera. Actually, I forgot to turn the mic on. My wife's laughing at me.
What else is new?
Anyways, I forgot to turn the mic on. Since then, I bought a different mic that I don't have to turn on and off, so that I don't have that senior moment and forget to turn it on. So like I said, I got some great videos of that. They're just silent videos, so we're back to the 20s with nice silent movies for how to change your thermostat out. But with this, there's only a few tools you need. You need, what I've looked at so far, Phillips head screwdriver or square driver, whichever you have and prefer to use. A wire crimper, a wire stripper, which I use a pair of Electrician scissors for, an AC tester because you have to turn the AC off in the air conditioning unit, so just a tester to make sure you do turn that off properly so you're not frying yourself when you're redoing the 120 volts to it. And from there, it's, let's just get this project done. So we'll start with just taking the covers off. And there's two covers on. You get the two filter covers, and then you've got just the two covers on here. The outer cover, which has 4 screws. Now, if you look up inside here, you can see the controller, which is here, which is the AC unit controller. So we've got to take that out. But before I do that, I'm going to find the power to it and kill the power. I'm going to verify we do have electricity to it. Quick little tester. I'm sure you can find this on Amazon or any hardware store, Lowe's. But it's a great little tester. It ranges from 100 to 600 volts. All right, then we're going to go into our electrical panel. And there are 2 breakers down here. Get in focus here. There are 2 breakers marked AC. AC and AC2. Now we're not using either one, so I'm just going to shut them both off because truthfully I'm not 100% sure which is which. But that should turn the power off to both of them. I'll come back and retest our electrical. You can see it's not going off. So the power is definitely shut off to it now. So we're safe to go up and figure out what 2 screws are holding that in and pull that controller out of there. So if you look up in, you can see where those screws were. One there and one over here. And where those nuts I had to take off. So technically, by all rights, this control unit it's never as easy as it appears. Should just slip off those screws and come down here to where I can work on it. Alright, so the control unit, instead of having nuts on it, there's 2 screws that come in from the outside and had these little clamp nuts to them. So these are, one came off really easy, the other one was a real bear to get out. So it might have been easier if I'd gone up, pulled the top, But whether it's just me and it's a little cool and slick out there today, I figured I would just make the struggle rail and get these off. So these are off, so now I can take the control unit out and start swapping the wires around. But first, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cell phone, snap a picture of the wiring on it to make sure it matches up when I put the other one back in. So let's take care of that. So I've got the unit free off those screws. I'll be able to pull it out and down. So it's down here, so I can now work on it. Make life a little easier. Alright, so before I go any farther, what I should have done again is just make sure we have nothing here, just to be safe. Who knows? In the camper, nobody turned that breaker on, but if I was somewhere else, possibly. So, these are newer, if you've seen these before. This is a newer style of wire nut. It's reusable, the wires go in, these just slip down to clamp them in, and you can reuse it again. These are pretty sweet versus using the old standard wire nut. I think this is nicer in the camper because as you travel, you know, these might back off a little bit. These won't because they clamp. Alright, so this is the new controller. It is, there we go. The difference in model number, this is the 9330C755, which as you can see over here, it's cooling, heat, high fan, low fan, and then your 12 volts. Right, versus the old one was a 8430A66, and when you look on here, it's only low fan, high fan cooling, and your 12 volts, and then your freeze sensor. So all this just so we can make heat work. All right, put our electrical back together. There. Those are all tucked in there safely. Just going to move the wires over from one to the next. White plug just comes over. Slides back on. I believe the freeze sensor, I have a new one. It should be the same part number, 7330A323. So I'll keep this one in my spare parts. We'll just move this one from here. So move them both. Make sure they're pushed down all the way. So if any of them are loose, it'll cause the AC to quit working. Probably take a pair of needle nose to them and push them down in. Alright, so then what we need is the control wire, which is the white one. The white is what I connected to the thermostat because it calls for white wire here. So I have a 22 to, I think these to 18 gauge, and I've got my crimper and my scissors. So let's strip this wire back a little bit. Scissors. When you do that using scissors or pair of wire cutters, make sure you're not scarring your wire. Don't cut in too deep. Just want to go with it. And just give it a good crimp. So it should be in there, it's not pulling out. And this will just go down where the white wire goes. Like so. Alright, so before we go any farther, all the wiring's back together, the electrical's back together, the control cable's on. All these are sitting on. I'm going to kick it back on and see if we get heat out of her. Alright, so let me kick the breakers back on and verify we have power again and kick this puppy up, see if she works. Alright, at the same time, kind of verified, so I just hit the AC breaker and we don't have power here, so AC is the bedroom. I'll mark that. So my breaker panel, this is AC2. Alright, so let's make sure first that our air, well, I guess our fan's working. Okay. Not a good sign. But it's a cool low. Alright, so right now I'm thinking these are just not settled on properly. So, putting that connector all the way on definitely fixed the high. You can really hear it now blowing out through. So that's one problem fixed. The other problem, I don't think it's blowing heat. Didn't feel like warm air. So I have a question. I've reached out to Eric Sal, who makes the Pullmans. So I'm guessing that this controller, even though I was told by an RV repair person and by another RV repair company, I won't mention any names, that this was the control unit I needed for this AC unit. This is, it says a 15 Mach 8 heat pump. So it's the Mach 8. It's supposed to be 15,000 BTUs with the built-in heat pump to it. So I think this controller is for the heat strap that you can put in here that would blow heat out. So right now when I kick this on to heat, it's doing what it's supposed to. It's kicking that fan on, but it's not kicking on the heat pump that's built into this unit. So today might all been for naught. We'll see what Eric Sal says when they call me back, and it would be nice if there's a simple fix of just moving this orange wire over and tying the common wire to something. I'm sure it won't be that easy. I'm sure what's going to happen is I'm going to have to get another unit, the one that actually works for this, but I'll let you know what happens. Alright, so Eric Sal did get back to me pretty quickly the other day and gave me the proper part number, which is a 9530A751. And luckily Ron Hoover's up here in Donna, Texas, had one in stock, so I was able to run up there today and pick it up. So with that, the new controllers are all connected, and let's see if we get some heat out. The goal is to turn off the propane and start running on the heat pump. Should start saving us some money. Heat pump is 100% electric, runs off the air conditioner. That way there we quit burning through propane, which is roughly, down here it's cheaper, it's $24 for 30 pounds. But I do feel heat. Yeah, baby, we got some heat, baby. She'll be warm tonight. Right, another project off my list. Remember, if you like our channel, give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and hit that little... Bert's making all kinds of noise in the kitchen. We're packing up so we can pull out tomorrow morning. Anyways, remember to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit that little bell to get notifications when our next video comes out. And we'll see you all on the road.